All right. Hello, hello. Hey, my day ones. Hey, my K-pop stands. Welcome to K-pop Tarot Vibes, your go-to channel for tarot readings, intuitive insights on your favorite K-pop groups and idols. And whether it's career, just some fun, or energy checks, we are spilling K-pop tea with the cards. All right. But before we get into, my part two, Jungkook reading. Disclaimer time. All right, so the disclaimer will be I'm not a journalist, a blogger, or insider. So don't come for me. All right? Don't come for me for the facts. I'm not here to give it to you. And I'm only reading the cards. This is all pure just intuition, spirit, my spiritual talents at work. That's it. All right? So take what resonates, take what doesn't, and remember that the future is always changing and people have free will. All right? Okay, so you know what, guys? What had happened to me was I had totally forgot that my fans, that sounds weird to say. I totally forgot about the questions I got sent. And I was going on and I was doing my reading. And then after the first reading, I was looking at my phone at my notes and I realized, like, oh my God, I had questions already from my fans who wanted to know about Cookie. And then I did ask for the questions. So I was just like, oh my gosh, totally forgot. But I was like, it's all right. I'm just going to do a part two because nobody's going to be surprised. I always do a part one or part two on Cookie or something. Like y'all know I love that man. I'm always gonna go out for him. So y'all be using that. Y'all be using that against me. I'm playing. But anyways, yeah. So I just got a couple of questions that people had sent in and asked. So that's what part two is gonna get into those questions and yeah, we're gonna see. So these questions are gonna go more into what happened with that whole the hacker getting into his account, right? Lord, it happened so long ago. I forgot all the details of it. Some accountant had went into Cookie's. Oh no. They had stole some stocks from Cookie, right? Lord, let me go update myself. Let me go update. It happened so long ago, I don't even freaking remember. That's right. His Hive shares was stolen. Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was remembering it correctly, but yeah, his shares were stolen through an identity thief while he was serving in the military. Okay. Yeah, I bet that brought him some stress in the military too. I don't know. So let's see what happened behind that. So that's where most of the questions are about, is that. So, all right. Let's get into the first question, which would be what happened around that hacker issue. Hacker and the money issue. What happened around that? Let's see what truly happened. I thought they said what truly really happened. Like somebody falsely bought shares from someone and it was actually the shares that they stole from the member and they were like selling it out to everybody. But I don't know why they asked that question, but let's just see what the cards got to say about it. What happened with that? I mean, I thought one of the articles pretty much explained what happened. All right, so I'm gonna get this out, and then I'm probably gonna get like my messy cards out. All right, so what happened around that? probably going to be a vague answer. I did have a vague question, so it's probably not even going to be a straight direct answer. I'm just going to pick up whatever I could pick up on the situation, honestly. Game over. All right, so what I'm picking up from this thing already, it wasn't one hacker. It was like a group of people. It was like a group of hackers. It was like a group of hackers. The Three of Wands. Actually, the Three of Cups and the Three of Wands. It could have been like when I say a group, it could have been a group of three. Group of three hackers. That was around. See, they try to cover up their tracks. Nine of Cups means that they bought a lot of different shares. It wasn't just cookie shares. It was a lot of different shares. It was a lot of different things that they were getting and buying and selling off. Two of Wands, again, like it was like a network, but it was really ran by a group of three people, and they had a lot of different shares. They were doing a lot of things. Yeah, Two of Wands made me think this was global. Like they were buying shares, like kind of like off of the global market, and they were selling it to different people. But it was a group of three people involved. Eight of Cups with the game over. Yeah, they got caught. They got caught. In their feelings that they got caught. But yeah, that's all I'm picking up from. It was like a group of three people who's been doing this for a minute, got a lot of shares from everywhere, selling it globally to different people illegally, pretty much got caught. That's all I got from that. Like, Cookie was like one of many victims, pretty much. That's all I got from that one for that question. Group of three people. Let me see. So the next question was this group of people staff, or is that what the question was? Was it staff or someone else? Okay, so the first question was these group of people staff members? Hold up, I don't want this. I don't want that deck. This deck is like, I'm slowly starting to learn this deck, and I feel like this deck is way too positive for what I want. So let me use my old school deck. Alright, so what's the three people in connections to this staff? No, this wasn't staff at all. Mm-mm. I didn't get the feeling it was staff either, but no, this wasn't staff. I mean, even though you do see the Hierophant, but this was a yes or no question. So the way I read yes or no questions, I lay 5 cards out, and if I can get at least the even number of just plain out no, because I don't read major arcana cards or even the Knight of Wands or anything. If I can get an even number of just plain whatever wands or swords cards, then that's a yes. My odd, if I get an odd number of that, that's a no. But if I get all like major arcanas and stuff like this, it's a no. That strength. Nah, I don't think so. Then again, I don't think so. Was it someone else? Was it like people not even connected to Hive? So my question is, was the group of hackers even connected to Hive in some way or work for them in some way? Imagine it not being Hive staff, because woof, do you know the penalties? They could get fired and get sued in court, like the drama. Like, who wants that? Alright, so was it someone tied into Hive, or did they work at Hive? Let's see. Yep, it was someone that did work at Hive or has some sort of connection into Hive. So I'm thinking maybe 1 out of the 3 must have somehow worked or Hive or has some sort of connection in Hive in order to take that identity and then pass it on to the others so they can buy the shares. Yeah. So it could be someone that was in Hive or around Hive. But I mean, like, you don't even have to necessarily work for Hive to hack into their system to get their shares. Like, you could totally be a hacker on the outside, not even have to work into Hive at all. You could easily have done that. You could have just hacked into Hive, manipulated the system, took the shares, sold them to someone else, and been done with it, and you didn't even have to set foot in Hive or even work there. I mean, I don't know how tight Hive's cybersecurity is, but I guess it ain't that tight if somebody could easily go in there and do that. So I find it funny that they only hit Cookies shares and not any of the other member shares. So it could have been somebody that worked around Cookie or something. Not sure. Let's see. Was it somebody that could have worked around Cookie? Hold up. Let me see. Someone that worked around Cookie that could have gave up the information to the shares. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm getting is like, it's nobody that had a direct link to him. So that means there's nobody that worked directly with him. This is like purely someone that was on the net that just picked up the information. Hold up, let me listen. Okay. So someone that did work in, okay, so this is how my intuition is saying it. So it's someone that did work in Hive, or is probably still working in Hive. I'm getting a scene like at a restaurant, right? And the staff is just talking about work, right? And it's like one of the hackers could have been within the same like restaurant and could have overheard the staff talking about maybe Hive shares, or could have been talking about Cookie shares, or just BTS's shares in general, right? Then the hackers could have overheard it, went to the web, looked it up, and seen and got that information that way, and then hacked and then got whatever they needed to. That's how my intuition's saying that it happened, which makes sense, because like it could be something just as harmless as that. Like somebody gets the idea and then just goes into the system and then can find out all your information, especially if it's not very good protected information. Y'all think like it's so hard to like get into systems. Yes, if you're not a hacker, if you're not someone that's computer savvy, yes, it's hard. But for hackers, that's a piece of cake. They know how to get into things. Yeah, so it's as simple as that. It's like someone that knew, so someone was around, someone who was talking about it, which piqued their interest, and they went into the web and got that information and then started with it. Yeah, so it's nobody that directly was working with Cookie or somebody in the actual company. It was people in the actual companies hanging around where these hackers were. All right, so my next question is, will he release something with the band, which we already got our answer to that question on the recent live. We got our answer to that question. next spring. That's what they said they were betting on. I didn't even get a chance to watch that. I'm gonna watch it after this, but I didn't get a chance to watch their full live together. Like when I woke up in the morning, I seen it. I was trying to watch some of it, but then I had to clock in for work, so I was like, I'm gonna watch it once I get off. But then I was like, let me film this real quick and then I'll watch it. But I did see people talking about it and I heard tidbits. So spring, we already know that that's gonna happen, so I could skip that question. And then I had already answered, was he happy with the solo career in my last reading. In part one, if you go back and watch it, I already answered that question about how he feels about his solo career. So yeah, so I think that is all I have, just those two questions. Okay, well then, that was fast. I had forgot that some of these questions were the same that I had already answered, or they were already answered. What I did want to say was, I thought was funny was, I was right on my last member reading, saying like how the whole comeback was gonna like be delayed, like they weren't gonna come out with anything like quick, like that whole thing was gonna be delayed. I was right about that. And then I was right about pretty much like they don't know what they're doing, they don't know how they're going to do it, and like everything is like in planning stages right now, everything is in talks. Like there was no definite direction to where they knew where they were going to go or be. So yeah, they're going to be figuring out this whole year what they're going to do. So I'm thinking that pretty much Jin is going to be touring and trying to record with the group and figure out what their musical direction is going to be. You know my advice. My advice is y'all need to follow J-Hope and Suga's musical direction. That's my advice, because if y'all come out with one more, never mind. I'm not even going to criticize their music, because honestly, I don't feel like going back and forth with none of y'all in these comments. So yeah, that's it. That concludes the cookie reading. If the part 2 cookie reading, I don't think I have any more questions on cookie. I'm good. That concludes the reading. If you enjoy the reading, like, subscribe, comment, all that. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask if my shuffling annoys you, should I edit out my shuffling or should I keep my shuffling in? I'm not sure. I'm trying to find like a new way to edit. So y'all let me know if my shuffling annoys y'all. All right. Okay. So everyone, may love, light be with you, and enjoy your evening or day or whatever time it is. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.